Hey everybody, this is Dan for GemmyD on Cars. Now today is a special day. If you could see the title of this video and the car that is behind me, we are looking at a Japanese legend today. This is a 2018 Nissan GTR. This is definitely on the Mount Rushmore of Japanese cars. This is a cult classic. This is basically a supercar for not a lot of money. This car has a 3.8 liter V6 twin turbo all-wheel drive, 565 horsepower, 467 foot-pounds of torque. It'll go 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. This is a big car. It's continuing the theme of big sort of cars. And this car is sort of similar to the Hellcat that I just reviewed in a couple ways. Not really directly, but just a couple things that have going on with the generation of this car. Now, this car has been around for a long time. Since 2008, it was revealed as a concept, I think, in 2001. I mean, here we are in 2021. There's been a couple mid-cycle refreshes in 17. That's why this 18 is such a good example of a GTR. And we'll talk about, a couple different updates that this car has, but this thing is an absolute monster, affectionately known as Godzilla. So let's take a look at the Nissan GTR. Now, this car has roots in Japanese cars that go back all the way to 1969. Now, this is called the R35 generation, but there's been R34s and R33s, but this is the first car to not be called a Skyline. They've always been called a Nissan Skyline before this version. I don't know why they did it. I guess they just wanted to shorten it up and go with the GTR. But this is such a unique car because it is such a modifiable platform. I mean, there are examples of GTRs with like 2,500 horsepower from a V6 twin turbo. I mean, you can just do insane modifications on this car. That's why it's such a desirable supercar. And I will call this a supercar because this can absolutely hang with, the 911 GT3s. It runs the gamut of performance, competitors, but is just a unique Japanese staple that's been around for a long time. I'm feeling very lucky to have my hands on one of these. Now, the owner of this car just sold his C8 Corvette and got this, so I'm going to sort of compare it to those because they're very different cars, but sort of have the same purpose, obviously, to be an insane car. So all right, let's talk about the styling. Just had to wait for some traffic to go by right there. So the GTR, this is a very unique car, like I said, because nothing looks like this car. And I will be honest, this is a huge car. This is a big car. I mean, I would almost prefer to go something a little smaller and lighter, but that's just what I prefer. But you cannot deny the style and the performance of this car. I mean, 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds, 565 horsepower, all-wheel drive. This car actually has a couple modifications done to it, but we will talk about that when we go under the hood. But this GTR car was updated for 2017. Now, there was a previous update. Okay, this car came out in 2008. It was updated again in 2011. And they've always added more power as the years have gone on. But for 2017, it was updated on the interior very nice as well. So this being an 18, it will have those upgrades too. But they have added a bunch of things, different taillights, different front fascias. They've always had this sort of shape of the grille. There's the legendary GTR badge. Now, this little piece right there is finished in carbon fiber. This does have the NACA ducts, which is, that was what NASA was before NASA. It was called NACA, but those, feed air into the engine. And it's just funny how this is just such a big car. And some of my friends are looking at these because I think it would just fit them, like a glove. But we've got bi-xenon headlights. There's a couple little updates to the front fascia right there. This car looks especially good in black too. I've seen them in white, but I really like the black. So it has 20-inch wheels. This does have these steel brakes, doesn't have carbon ceramics. Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, which are just about some of the best tires you can get. I think the rear tires are 335s, which is absolutely monstrously huge. I mean, just look how big that tire is right there. But you're gonna wanna have that if you're gonna put the power down to the ground, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. I love the gold calipers, it just looks so good. This is a new design, I think, for 17 with the update. But yeah, this styling element right there is just classic Nissan. And also what is classic Nissan is when we move around to the back, and the 4 round taillights has been around with the Skylines for the whole time. They used to be sort of connected, I think, in the older Skylines, but now they're just on their own. And it's unmistakably a GTR. I do like the subtle look of the wing. I prefer like less, you know, shouty type, you know, appearance packages. I really do like this wing. I don't go crazy for the bigger ones that come up there. I don't know, it's case by case basis, but just look how big these exhaust tips are. I mean, they are absolutely huge. There is my fist for reference. I mean, they're just monstrous. 2 dual tips right there, 4 tips. I mean, if you can't tell, everything about this car is big and loud, but I don't want to say this is like a loud, you know, ostentatious car like a Lamborghini Huracan would be. And you don't really see that many of these on the road, which I think is a good thing. But yeah, this is a GTR. This is Godzilla. I think, you know, like I said before, nothing looks like this car. It is a car of its own. It's kind of funny how this car is made by Nissan. And Nissan is sort of going through a renaissance right now with a couple different new cars. And like they've always made the Z, and there's a new Z coming out. But it's like the company that makes the Sentra and the Altima decided to make a all-out supercar. It's just kind of funny. It's almost like the LFA with Lexus. You know, they build sort of normal entry-level cars, but then they have the Halo car. And this is without a doubt Nissan's Halo car. But yeah, there's a little GTR badge right there. I'm sure this is a functional vent right there to get that heat away from the brakes. Now these brakes are 15 inches around. I think the fronts are 15 and the rears are 15.3. But yeah, this is a GTR. I mean, it's a very unique supercar. Now, all right, let's take a look at that engine. All right, now this is the engine of the GTR Godzilla. This is a 3.8 liter twin turbo V6, 565 horsepower, 467 foot-pounds of torque. And as I said before, the generations, as this car has gone on in its life cycle, have added more power along the whole way. Now there is a GTR Nismo, which has 600 horsepower stock, but this car actually is running something about 620, 630 horsepower because it is tuned for E85. And my buddy showed me underneath here, there is an ethanol analyzer that constantly is analyzing how much you know, percent of ethanol is always going to the engine. So it's tuned on E85. Now we do have 2 blow-off valves right here, one for each bank of cylinders. Those are GFB, which I think stands for Go Faster Bits, and they sound amazing once you get on throttle, just the psh, you know, the blow-off. But yeah, this is a very interesting looking engine bay. Now, I just learned today, there are only 4 Japanese guys who have made all the engines of the GTRs, and this guy right there, his name is Tsunami Uyama. So thank you very much, Mr. Unama, for building this GTR, giving this car its, you know, monstrous V6. So there's an intake, I think hiding right down there. Now this car does have a modified exhaust, but my buddy does not know exactly what the company is because this is bought as a used car, but it sounds fantastic. Now I will show you what the exhaust sounds like right here. So yeah, how was that? That was pretty spectacular. I mean, a V6, you know, not all the time sounds the greatest. Like a Porsche 911 does not really sound the greatest, but this is no example of that. This car sounds fantastic. So this is the engine, easily modifiable, can get insane power out of these if you upgrade your downpipes and tunes and exhaust and everything. So this is a really classic engine. Now, I sort of mentioned before how this car is sort of, there's some things that I find that are similar with the Hellcat, meaning that I don't know what's next for the Nissan GTR, same as the Hellcat. I don't know if this car will be an instant classic as well. I mean, they've been around for a long time, like the Hellcat, but I don't know what is next for Nissan. I think plans to update the GTR have been delayed for a long time. So this car's value could go up in the near future because this is a, you know, amazing performance bargain, just like a Z06 or a Hellcat. I mean, this car is, they go for something around $100,000, about like that, but the performance and the miles per gallon that you get will be off the chart. So I think that I don't know what's next for the GTR, but all right, let's take a look at the trunk real quick. Now, I just want to talk about the trunk real quick because this is actually a huge trunk. I mean, this is got to be one of the bigger trunks for a supercar like this. I mean, look how deep this is. I mean, this is almost up to my elbow. That's pretty big. I think you could definitely get some golf clubs in there. That's about all I'm going to say about the trunk of the GTR. It's just pretty big. I mean, like I said, this is a big car and it has a big trunk. All right, let's check out the interior. All right, we're going to go into the interior, but this is sort of a different looking door handle. It's sort of like a Tesla or like a Huracan. Press on that and pull it open. That's just kind of cool. So going on the inside of the GTR. Now this I think is where the update is most felt for 2018 too. You have a different looking steering wheel. This thing feels nice in your hand. Now this is only a 6-speed dual clutch transmission, but I guess that is what works best for this car. Now I will flash on the screen what the interior looked like before the update. There just is more round knobs everywhere for the vents, which I think the vents have now moved to here. There used to be like circular vents over here and over here to go along with those. They still have circular ones on the outside, but we've got some dry carbon fiber going on right here. It looks really good. There is how you control the nav screen and all that. So these buttons down here are what really gets the car going. I think this is for your suspension, and this one doesn't work now because this car has the coilovers, different than stock. This puts, I think, it go into R mode, but we will put that in full attack mode when we get out onto the road. Now there's the gauges right there, centrally located tachometer. Now this speedometer goes all the way up to 220 miles an hour. I don't think we're gonna get close to that today. But yeah, this is a classic Nissan right there. That light right there turns on and tells you what gear you're in. Now my buddy said when you're driving this car in automatic mode, it is very, very quick to shift. Like we were almost in 4th gear at about 40 miles an hour. So if you want to control it a little bit easier, you can, put it over into use the manual mode with the shift paddles. But I sort of noticed that because I'm just behind my neighborhood. Driving this car over here from my house, I did notice that it shifts very quickly. And when we test it out and give her the beans, we're definitely going to roll from 2nd gear, maybe just to see what that's like. But yeah, this interior is nice. I mean, just again, like the Hellcat, you're buying this car not for the interior. You're buying this car for the iconic Japanese nameplate of the GTR, plus all the performance and the easily modifiable platform. But yeah, this interior is nice. You still have the nice bucket seats. Now there is a back seat, and there is literally no room at all, so it's pretty useless. I don't even know if you had a baby, if it would even fit back there, although odds are if you have a baby, you're not going to take them anywhere in your GTR. I think this car is comfortable, and they did some updates when they did the update for 17 to make the windshield a little bit thicker to make it not as loud inside here, because this is pretty loud on full throttle, and I'm going to put the windows down once we get on or out, out and about. But yeah, this is a GTR. You were going to buy this for the classic Japanese, iconic nameplate. I'm looking at the steering wheel that says GTR right there. That is just an iconic name in motorsport and Japanese cars. So let's wrap this up and get it on the road. All right, very quickly, I'm going to start it up just so we can get a look at the infotainment screen because it looks very typical Nissan. So here we go. If you're using your headphones, take it off. Oh, this car has such a unique sound. Just listen. Oh yes, oh yes. I mean, with a modified, with any type of modified exhaust, that thing would just go absolutely insane. Just listen to that idle. Yeah, that is really nice. So this is just your typical Nissan infotainment system. You do have a nav, menu. Nobody really cares about this because you're not using it for this, but this could still be a daily drivable supercar, absolutely. Now this is sort of like an interesting looking shifter. This has always been around since the beginnings of GTR. But yeah, let's just look at the backup camera. Not bad. I think they're yelling at me because the door is open. But yeah, this is a nice place to be. I mean, this is pretty much a total package supercar, and I will call it a supercar because of the performance and the rarity that I really don't see these around too often. So all right, now let's wrap this up and get it out on the road. All right, so we're gonna wrap up this video on a 2018 Nissan GTR, and what you get for your money is iconic Japanese performance. This car looks like nothing else on the road. The performance is almost like nothing else on the road. I mean, if you want to get similar performance, you're going to be spending a lot more on, let's say, a Porsche 911 GT3 or an Audi R8 with a V10. But this is just a classic Japanese car. Like I said, it will always be on the Japanese Mount Rushmore of sports cars. So big thanks to my buddy Adam for giving me the access to this car. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at GemmyD on Cars, and stay tuned for the drive video, which will be right after this one in a couple of days. So thanks for watching. Hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.